morning. I hope everybody is doing well, right? Now, this is the third session we are going to deal with the transaction grammatical area. I took 2 classes already. Now, slowly we enter to that very big module, what is called the tense system. And our module has only 2 mega areas. One is tense system, as I told you in the last class. One area is related to some model and primary auxiliary system. It's very easy, but you have to concentrate. Somewhat different, the level, the method, what we teach will be different from your higher secondary school education. That is what we call college education, right? Now, I recently read in one of the newspapers, on Sunday supplement, an article. See, it is, an extract taken from the Buddhist philosophy, all right, Buddhist philosophy. You know, Buddha, great saint of our country, all right, had so many riches and left out everything. He was Siddhartha as a prince of a palace and later became a sannyasi. Seeing all the troubles and miseries of the human beings. Once you examine the history of world, a lot of such incidents you can see. But one day, this Buddhist sannyasi or Buddha educated his disciples that telling a parable type of a story. It is written in the newspaper. I have come across here in Sunday supplement. That I should tell you as a message that you keep in mind. A parent has sent his child to another sannyasi. All right, that time, in our own country, there was Gurukulam Vidyabhyasam going on, right? So, parent of a child send a child to a sannyasi or a Buddhist, monk. And within 2-3 months, all right, this child came back and reported father or parent, all right, Papa, I studied everything. This much what I studied from my guru is okay. He taught me so many things and now I am okay. I have studied everything. And this sannyasi, Buddha asking, this parent, this father asked this child, all right, what? All right, did you study anything what a teacher cannot teach you? Look. This question is a type of philosophical statement. So many things are there. We have mathematics, we have English, we have geography, physics, chemistry, so many subjects, all these areas. All right, a teacher or saint or a sannyasi can teach you. It's a very plain thing, right? But this father asking son, all right, did you, had you studied anything what a teacher cannot teach you? That is a question of matter here to be discussed. So, you are college graduate students now. Do not expect everything from us. Do not expect all the areas of realms of knowledge from the brain of the teachers. They can teach you in a way, correct, that I can admit. But so many things there, teachers and gurus and other sannyasis cannot teach you. From this nature, you have to adopt and acquire. So even though you study so many grammatical rules and all that, once you decide to use language, you should be ready. Unless you are interested in the field, nobody can teach you. So better, I would say, expect everything what your teachers cannot teach you. What your parents cannot teach you. What the other people cannot teach you. Acquire these areas from your experience, from your research, from your method of learning. You acquire so many things that which is not imparted and given by the teachers. All right, once you come to the third topic, here in the grammatical level, we have to study a fundamental step. Then you will reach the time scheme or what is called questions and different types of constructions. So first thing, we have to study mega area, what is called ox. All right, this is a very abbreviated shape of auxiliaries. We have auxiliaries. Provided I tell you, you should make a journey through your textbook transaction, first point. Second point, along with this, that you keep a high school grammar book with you or higher intermediate grammar book with you. Then search and find these areas. After my teaching, go through this area, get some more ideas, information that you keep in your notebook, get ready. Though once we meet together or otherwise you can contact me, all the doubts will be clarified. Because this area, for the example, actually not given in the textbook, but without teaching this area, I cannot easily jump to the field what is shown in the textbook. Am I right? You follow me? So, this area that takes you, that transport you to the field of your high school, higher secondary education, where you study this topic auxiliary. For the purpose of auxiliary, we divide them into two. It has two different areas. One is, shortly in modern grammar, we call POX. POX, P, ox, POX. Then you will get MOX. All these are abbreviated forms that you can easily keep in your brain. POX and MOX. So auxiliary is a system, it has two divisions. One division is called POX, primary auxiliary area, then model auxiliary area, without which you cannot get into the field of framing certain constructions, framing certain sentences. So these are, then sometime it will be very, very insignificant, but you know, insignificant things are often difficult. Often people will say, no, that is very simple. But once you go and do that simple thing, it will be difficult. Am I right? So, these are areas, though look very insignificant, will be useful for the purpose of writing beautiful sentences or constructing beautiful sentences. So you have to concentrate which all the area. Primary auxiliary system has been divided to POX and MOX. And this POX, again we divide to three categories. You have to look what is that. First one is called B group, then have group, then do group. We have three important groups. POX, primary auxiliary. Though they are auxiliaries, they are different. Their functions are different. That you have to keep in mind. Then here MOX, you have so many items, what we call, for example, we take will. Past form you will get would. Then shall. All right, you get should. All right, should. Then can, you get could. All right. For example, must. All right. Do you know the past form of must? So many people do not know what is the real past form of must. The past form of must is had to. All right, had to. That you have to keep in mind. Some people unknowingly they deliberately cancel once it is coming for the use of past tense. They avoid it. Had to is used. So these are modal auxiliaries. Plenty to be numbered. That will come across. But here this verb be again coming. These three can be written. All right, again we will take. All right, you take be. All right, it has present. It has three areas. What is called present? present participle, then what we call past, then past participle. Present participle has, you have be as a word, primary auxiliary, which has present. It has singular shape and plural shape. Alright, already studied in the high school. I remind you some of them because they are useful for the construction of next stage. So, be present singular. Be will be transformed into singular is. Bracket you will get in grammar book am. Both of them will be plural. You will write are. Alright. Then it is being past, you will get to singular and plural. Singular and plural. You will get this one was. Then this one, you will get where? PP. You will get to been. Look. Means what? Verb be as a box has a different forms. Which from these is and am important, are is important, was is important, where is important. So, in a way, another way, a grammarian called Spitcoder. His name is Spitcoder. He says, be as a mother has so many different children. And these are the primary important children. In the same way, be will be replaced by do. Alright, you will get a singular does. You will get a past did. Then past participle done. Look here, be and do. Both of them are auxiliaries, primary auxiliaries that you have to keep in mind. In the same way, you will get instead of have, you will get a singular has, third one had, past participle also had. Means what? This is auxiliary. All these are auxiliaries. You will get all circled auxiliaries in certain sentences. The next step that you keep in mind. Some people will ask you, what is the main difference between POX and MOX? What is the difference between primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary? They will ask you. So, yet you have to clarify primary auxiliary, first point. First point, keep in mind, once I teach you, keep some lecturing notes in your notebook. Along with you, we are slowly entering to the module number 3. So, simply entering is not possible. Understanding the fundamental stages, after understanding fundamental areas, then only we can go through the time scheme. Okay. So, they will ask you, some people may ask you, what is the difference between POX and MOX? First point, you tell those people asking you, primary auxiliary is compulsory. It is a part of verbal group. Do you follow me? Verbal group means it is a part of verb. In what way? Look here. He is eating a mango. Alright, one example. I take a very simple example in order to make you understand. Because understanding is the problem. Without understanding, going through grammar, some people say you are searching the grammar where in the website. Searching is okay, but they will give you one answer. This answer, suppose you feel that is incorrect, again they will tell you have to mug up. Alright, but this is not the way of learning a language. You study the mechanism of it. Alright, and suppose somebody asking you why is it different? How can you explain the difference between primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary? In this way you have to make. Alright, this is a primary auxiliary, which is the present form, singular form of verb be, right? Present form, singular form, verb be. Okay, then here you got eating. So, is assisting eating. Eating is the present participle. This is part of the verbal group. Look here. It both words together make a verb group. What VPH. That you will study later. VPH. Verbal phrase. Verbal VGP. Verbal group. Means what? Primary auxiliary is integral part of VGP. Integral part of verbal phrase. We cannot easily take away from them. But you take your modal auxiliary. Example, he, all right, or, okay, one example, they will eat a mango. Here, will becomes modal auxiliary. You rub this modal auxiliary, remaining part will be meaningful. But once you rub this auxiliary, remaining part will be meaningless. You got me? Is it clear to you? Means what? Primary auxiliary is compulsory, whereas modal auxiliary is not at all compulsory. If you want, you put. Yes, like I can go to market. You leave can. I go to market. Remaining part is sentence. So we have to study in that way. So many modal auxiliaries are there. For example, may, all right, must, all right, ought to, need to, dare, all these. Now we will go some important uses of modal auxiliaries. Which are they? First one. So you understood the difference between POX and MOX. POX is compulsory, whereas MOX is not compulsory in a sentence. Okay, very good. Now we go to the different uses. First one is you take shall. In which all the areas you will write shall. Are you okay? Again, I recommend you refer any one of the intermediate grammar book and refer all the uses of modal auxiliaries. I'll give you some of them which are important, which are very indispensable for you to face challenges of exams. One, shall. It shows the promise. First word, many uses are there, but we use a very important one, promise. First use, shall. Shall and will sometimes are confused. Shall is symbol, all right. They are used majority with in accordance with first person singular and plural. First person I and we put a shall. Example, it is a promise. Generally we use you shall be paid tomorrow. One example, you can copy down. You shall be paid tomorrow means what? It is a promise. It is a promise. Need not to worry and stand here. You shall be paid tomorrow. In that context, we use shall. All right, it is a promise. And the second one is command. All right. Among many uses, at least you remember 2-3 which are important. That is my idea. So shall has importance of command. Example, you shall not steal. Example, what is written in the Bible and all that. You shall not eat. You shall not steal. Like that. Or it is a command. And third one will be threat. These are available in any one of the leading grammatical books. Refer uses of modal auxiliary. First one will be shall. Second one will be will. Then third one can. Might goes like that. So important uses which you can remember. Easily copied out in the notebook. Which you try to remember. Things will be under our control. So third one is threat. Alright. The officer shall be punished. Threat. It is a threat. If doing some corruption in the office, the superior officer would say that officer shall be punished. Then determination, strong determination. All right, determination. You will get a determination means what? Once you play what you call basketball and volleyball, like players would say, I I shall, like that means the determination. You need not worry, I shall take. All right. So these are the primary significant uses of shall as a model auxiliary. One is promise, one is command, one is threat, fourth one is determination. In the same way, all right, you replace this shall, then you will write will. All right. What all the important uses of will? Additional, all these are applicable, but in the same way you can write willingness. Will stands for willingness. All right, willingness. 1 point, willingness. I will lend you my book. You can copy down this example. I will lend you my book. Then second one, promise. Will can be used once for the purpose of promise. I will help you. Intention. I will call her today. Intention. And also threat. I will kill you. Threat. So, threat is also there. Willingness, promise, intention, threat. That will. Then you go to can. What is the use of can? How? Which all the areas where all these words will have past form also. Here we called can, which has could as a past. First point, it shows ability. It shows ability. Example, John can lift an elephant. John can lift an elephant means what? Nobody else can. John can. I know John can. But some people are confused with am able to in the comparison with can people use. What is the difference between can and am able to, or is able to, or was able to? Can is generally we tell that we show our strength. All right. Suppose John can lift an elephant. John can lift an elephant. It is generally any John can. But John is able to lift an elephant means he is able. Meaning is almost the same. But he is able to means that area so many people were there trying to lift an elephant, but nobody could, but only John could. This is the difference. So ability is the main purpose of the meaning of can there sure. Then after that you will get third one, may. It shows permission. It shows permission. Example, may I go outside? May I go to the? May I go to office? People ask, may I go? Question form, giving permission. Something possible. Second use something possible. It may rain today. It may rain today. Example, he may be late. He may be late. You copy down. He may be late means doubt, possibility. All right, then must. All these. So we discussed shall, we discussed will, we discussed can, then we discussed may, then must. I told you no must. It shows a strong determination. Must, determination. I must win the match. I must win the match. First one, there is no other way but I should I must win the match. Duty, second use duty. Everyone must do his duty. Everyone must do his duty. So must has two important uses. So many uses may be there available in the grammar book, among which these two you mark yourself, which are very important. One is determination, second one duty. Then another special model auxiliary available, what is called ought to. All right, refer grammar book, ought to, which shows almost a must, which shows almost a should. But you know it has an aggravated or what is called higher meaning, which shows moral obligation. No other way but moral obligation. So important use of ought to is moral obligation. Copy down, moral obligation. Example, we ought to work hard. for getting good marks in the exam. Our moral obligation to do work hard. We ought to work hard. Then we ask used to, another modal auxiliary. These are all modal auxiliaries you have to keep in mind. It shows our past habit, used to. It shows the past action of our duty. What is called, I used to smoke a cigarette. That means what? Nowadays I don't have a practice. I stopped it, but once I was a 10th standard student, I used to smoke a cigarette. Earlier used to. It has no other past form. It is used only used to. In the same way, need is there, showing requirement. And dare is there. It shows, how dare you hit my brother? People ask, how dare? All right, this is called dare. What is called? It is a modal auxiliary. Means what? There are certain modal auxiliaries. In the same way, primary auxiliaries. These auxiliaries should not be confused. Primary auxiliary, on the one hand, they are integral part of a verbal phrase, verbal group. On the other hand, modal auxiliaries are not inevitable. They are not significant. They are not that much wanted. If you want only you put, otherwise you cut it. That is the difference between primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. This total area of primary auxiliary related to verbal group, related to do group, related to have group. 3 mega area of the box will be finished. Then slowly enter to modal auxiliary, which has present form and past form. For example, shall has a should, will has a would, may has a might, can has a could, like that. You make a list, prepare, then refer to any one of the intermediate grammar book. Please copy down 1 or 2, 3 uses of these modal auxiliaries as such in your notebook. Then think over, write over, then things will be okay. Till that moment, I wish you all the best. We'll see you.